Okay, I'm here with Stanley Gavidia here at the West Orange Arts Center in West Orange, New Jersey, here in the featured Latinx perspective. So Stanley, after this exhibition is over, it's going to be on display for another 2 weeks until December 12th. Do you have any plans on any future projects that you're working on in 2021? And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I've been, thinking about something different, because always you try to find ideas and a way to develop these ideas. And I have been thinking about for the last 2 months. I bought some canvas, 4 feet for 5 feet. You can see that is very good size. It is stained canvas, and I would like to find something very interesting for me to do in there. But it's taken me a long time, to find the theme, the topics I want to explore, and also the way I want to do it. So I was thinking to try to experiment with abstract. It's something that I never did it before, and I would like to try to find a way, to experiment with that kind of stuff, with color and thing, and see how things is going to go. So I am very excited that now I think I have the time and the place and everything in place, because we don't really making a living from our work. So we have to find a way how to switch from our regular job and find the time to do what I want to do, And pretty much it's something that I'm going to start to work next week. Yes, I will see how things going.
Can you talk about a little bit of maybe 3 particular themes that you're probably thinking of in abstract?
The theme or the topics, even the titles, is something come after you've been done wherever you have been done. A lot of time, that's my own experience. I don't know the other artists' experience. In my personal experience, sometimes has a specific path, I just start to put color sometimes, and all of a sudden, when I start to do my work, I always listen music, see new things that in some way enrich the idea. I look at the painting, and then sometimes I never know how I'm going to end up with something. So the topic is something that I find in the process, in the making. Sometimes I find very interesting thing that I can explore. And this is how sometimes I ended up doing my artwork.
Okay. Can you talk about your process? Do you start doing like preliminary studies before you do your abstracts or your past paintings, or are you going to do that differently with your abstracts, where you're just going to go ahead and attack the large canvas and just apply and go, or is something of a plan first before you do your execution?
No, I don't do any sketch or any plans, because abstract for me is something like you do just jump, it's just something I do, and all of a sudden, by accident, and I want to keep it there, and I want to complement with something else in the back or around, and that's how I do pretty much my work as an abstract, And sometimes I'm making the mistake to keep digging in one idea. I ended up ruining the painting, and it is no way back. So the only way I can make some changes is change everything completely and start over. It's kind of a fun experience, but at the same time, you experience a lot of frustration in a moment. Because it's not, because some people say, but you are an artist, you're supposed to know what you do. Not really. I mean, it's just like a writing. Some writing start to creating a couple sentences, and they don't like it, and they don't like it, and all of a sudden they come out with the right thing without really knowing from where, I think that happens in music too, in any kind of creativity and activities. I don't know.
After looking over your series of works that you've made, there's a sense of unity with the choice of colors that you have in your work. Is that something that's going to change in 2021, or are you kind of still staying in that misty, dreamlike display of your work that you have, or is this something going to be different?
I don't know, because I like image, I like surreal thing, I like magic realistic, and maybe in this series of big painting I would like to do, maybe I will use a figure. No, everything has to be abstract, because you also have to explore your abilities as an artist. If you are good with something, keep doing and try to maybe change a little bit around and try to be. I try to be confident with my processes, so I'm not completely lost. Always I start with something that I am pretty sure is going to work. So I hope that I want to end up doing something that I feel satisfaction, and don't feel shame exhibiting it in a garden where people really know what they see, It's something that sometimes I have a feel as an artist, and I guess it's normal. I don't know.
Can you tell the viewers what do you think works with your art and what doesn't work for you? Do you stick with something that always works for you, or do you leave it on the shelf, come back and use it another time? Every artist has a set of tools. Sometimes some tools work because they do the job done. What would be one thing that you haven't used that you might use again?
I have a very old canvas that I tried in that time to do something there, and I never succeed to do. I mean, I don't know. But again, it's my own experience, and I feel the frustration in keeping in a small corner, and all of a sudden, when I go to bathroom, when I go back, when I see it, it's something. I see something there. That has nothing to do with the thing I tried to do before, and I took that canvas and in 3 hours I do something that I feel great satisfaction. And I can tell you how I ended up doing something that I like. And I guess that's the process I've been doing for quite a long time, doing things without knowing exactly where I'm going to end up.
Okay. Can you talk about, any influences of this year that made an impact on how you want to approach your work for 2021? What's something that you're going to carry over the next year that you feel should be important to talk about within your work, or something that you can trigger a conversation about in your art? Because art has a certain language, and it's great because art would look at, you get to see how the artist thinks. Sometimes you get to see that, but what would be something that you would carry on but still keep it, that it's still a Stanley artwork, but there's a message that's hidden there that's going to influence people in 2021?
Now this is like a thick question in once.
Yeah. It's a thick one, yeah.
Because
a lot of paint on that canvas.
because this time I have been for quite a long time by myself in isolation, because everybody knows what's going on out there, allow me to be experience some peace, accepting the reality in the way it is. And it reminds me that I have to do something as an artist. I always want to be an artist. It won't be a time that I never am going to, because my brain now has the discipline to feel like the people like to exercise every day, or follow some diet for them. It's the same thing, or clean out the house every day. So it's the same thing. The base don't change. So now in my mind, something reminds me when I see all this artwork around, that one of my teachers told me long ago that the Americans are very pure abstract society. You know, abstract come from Europe, but American in the 1760s developed much better, you know, or maybe not much better, but it was, the influence was very, very, very grateful with Jackson Pollock, Matt Rock, all those people. So this society is still abstract society. So if I want to be successful as an artist, like a business, like really I want to do my work, I don't have to be an abstract artist from now on in some way. But I don't want to left behind my surreal and magic realistic ideas, because they always in me, you know, it's part of myself. So I got to mix everything from now on, and I want to see how things is going to work.